All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation. Another edition of Knicks Weekly presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise here. My guy Alex Rotaro, Stratocaster on the other side. This is part two of a eventful day, if you want to call it that, for the Knicks. We're going to get your reactions to the lineup changes. Tibbs making big changes to the starting lineup. Kemba Walker out. Alec Burks starting at the point. I want to hear from you guys. Phone lines are going to be up 657-383-1509. You can also hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord to get your points in. We're going to start this thing off with Coach Tom Thibodeau's reaction about the move, why he made the move, and just his overall thoughts on Kemba Walker. And then we're going to get to Alex's takes on everything. Here's Tibbs.
Okay.
When you look at your point guard situation, like, do you want to explore further Burks in the starting lineup, or do you go right back to Kemba?
Yeah, no, we're going to make a change. Alex going to be the starter. So I like the way that we played like that.
What went behind that decision?
Yeah, I just don't like the way we've been trending, the inconsistency of our team, and we're going to try to make a change. I want to get bigger. I want our defense to be more intact. So basically, that was it. We got to do something different.
You mentioned the defense being more intact. You played like a number of different coverages defensively against Atlanta. How did Burks' presence allow you to be able to?
The size is the big thing. It makes us bigger. It's like we've got small guards, and so when you add him to the mix, it gives us size at that position, and it allows us to do some different things that I thought were beneficial to the group. So the big thing is getting bigger, and then at times we've played very good defense, and other times we haven't, and we've just been inconsistent. And so we're 20 games into it, and we want to take a look at something different.
How do you think you guys did against when you switched on ball screens against those guys?
Well, we have a number of switching partners, so that's a normal part of it. And then you also have situations in which you switch, like if you're down in the clock. But when you have that type of size, it allows you to do more switching. And I think that it does help. It helps with the rebounding. It helps with getting control of the ball. It's harder to make passes out to the opposite corner and that sort of thing. So, and how we finish our defense is important. The rebounding piece of it, the closing out piece of it. So I did like the size.
All right, so that was pretty much Tibbs out. A couple things that he said there. He wanted size. We know Tibbs likes bigger guards. That's why Peyton was in this thing. Peyton was in the starting lineup for basically the entire season last year, based on that strength. So he likes bigger guards. He mentioned the switchability of Burks on defense, which I can agree with, based on the fact that our defense just isn't nearly where it was last year. We did see a lot more switching with Burks in the lineup against the Hawks. And he mentioned look, we're 20 games in. He said he didn't like how things were trending. I'm sure they looked at the numbers. We're going to do a quick dive into a pretty alarming stat when Kemba was on the court. So all in all, he's going Burks, man. What was your reaction to it when you heard the news?
I think I was shocked, like most fans out there, that we actually saw Thibodeau make a change this early in the season. Recently I wrote an article for KnicksFanTV.com on how this team would have to rely heavily on the bench while the starters got into their groove. And I said that we probably shouldn't see a change until around 20 games because that's a good sample size. That's a quarter of the season. And at that point, we had just played 8 to 10 games. So the jury was still out if the starting unit can get their stuff together. But with this change, I'm all for it because, one, he talks about size, and you just saw how Alec Burks was guarding Trae Young on Saturday. And when you're switching, you can actually switch with Burks, unlike Kemba. Kemba has to stick with his man. Has to fight over.
There's Burks. Burks gets it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so no worries. But like I said, uh Kemba, you can't really have him switch on other guys. Like he has to stick with the player that he is guarding because he's a 6 foot guard. He's undersized. Alec Burks, 6'6", longer wingspan. You can have a little bit more. It's easier on defense to switch with other guys, depending on who's regardless of who's setting the screen, right?
Yeah.
So defensively, there's that. Obviously, you saw how, like I said, how he guarded Trae Young. Even if you think about Malcolm Brogdon, Russell Westbrook, he's actually been doing really well this season defensively. In the article I just wrote for today and is published on KnicksFanTV.com, once again, I talked about how out of all the players that have played at least 10 games this season, Alec Burks is top 5 in defensive net rating. So Burks is up there with Obi Toppin, with Emmanuel Quickly. When he's out on the court, he just is that good of a defender that you can't keep him off because he's able to mirror the guys who's in front of him. He's able to grab boards. He's able to box guys out. And once again, just that length is just useful. But on top of that, like offensively, he's also comfortable off ball, unlike Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker's a guard that needs the ball in his hand consistently. That's what we saw in Charlotte. You know, when it was up in Boston his first year, he looked pretty good because it was between him and Gordon Hayward, who were sharing the rock most of the time. And they were trying to get other guys involved. And Kemba, he's a good playmaker. I wouldn't say he's the greatest playmaker, but that he thrives on just having the ball in his hands most of the time. Since this team is trying to still run through Julius Randle, they need someone who's comfortable off ball, who can shoot off ball, and that is Alec Burks. On top of that, he gets into the paint, unlike Kemba Walker, can't break down the defense. And if you need a guy who could score in isolation, last season Alec Burks was in the 99th percentile in isolation scoring. That doesn't mean he's the greatest isolation scorer because we've seen him go hot and cold from game to game. But this season so far, he's been very consistent. He's still a good isolation scorer. So if you need someone who can get you a clutch bucket, I like the move for it as of right now. His playmaking,
it's
up
gonna
and
get
down.
dicey.
As we saw.
It's gonna get dicey, man.
Yeah, like we saw last season too. Like I remember that Minnesota game. I think it was the second one when we were in Minnesota, and some of those lazy passes, man. That's what comes to my mind with Burks. But then he can give some like good dimes and get to guys out on the wing, just distribute the rock pretty well. He's seen that he's able to find Obi Toppin in transition, even though you like to joke that sometimes he's missing our guy, but he's been doing pretty good so far this season when it comes to passing.
I think for me, you know, and maybe this is just sentiment talking. Salute to everybody in the chat, first of all. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's get to the protocol, Al. You know what I'm saying? We got to salute the people in the chat. People have been waiting. You know what I mean? Started a little bit tardy. You know what I mean? A little technical difficulties, but those will soon be over. We're just plodding through right now. But either way, you know, I like the fact that we brought Kemba in here. Obviously, it was a low risk, high reward move. The coach tried it. After 20 games, he felt like it was time for a change. I may have rocked. I may have tried to work with Kemba a little bit more just to see if he could find some chemistry, find some comfort there in the lineup, find his role with this team. I would probably have rock with him maybe like 10 more games or so. But we got to understand this year's this year, and it's not last year. Last year, there were no expectations for this team. Maybe the coach had expectations, but there was no expectations for this team. This year, there's expectations. And so give credit to Tibbs for looking at this thing holistically and say, you know what? We got to make the change because we know what Tibbs likes. He wants guards that can get downhill. He likes the bigger guards. He likes defense. 3 things that Burks has been giving us this year. He can get to the line. He can attack. He can play on or off ball with Julius. So you would figure that there should be some better chemistry there, especially them playing together last year as well. So he's going with that familiarity. Burks clutch in the fourth quarter. We've seen it before. As Tibbs said, the switchability factor, especially given the way that this team defense hasn't been up to par so far. So you go there as well. For those reasons, I'm on board with Tibbs for it. Like I said, I would have liked to see Kemba, for a little bit more before we cast him off. But I understand the situation. On top of that, not being able to play back-to-backs. I mean, we need a set rotation. We need guys that we can rely on night in, night out, where if they're healthy, they can play. And I think this is what Tibbs wants, man. Tibbs likes stability in his rotations. And so to answer the question that some had was, why is Kemba, automatically out of the rotation? And I answered it on Twitter and elsewhere because I felt like Tibbs has more respect for Kemba to make him situational. Remember last year when he talked about Frank and Kev, they're situational, meaning, if we need him one night, he might play. But if we don't need him, he's not going to play. I didn't think they were going to yin-yang Kemba in and out of the lineup like that. On top of that, Tibbs said he's not trying to go with three little guards. You can't play Kemba, IQ, and D Rose meaningful minutes. You can't justify playing Kemba over Rose or IQ at all on the bench. So what are you going to do? You're going to play him 4 minutes here, not play him the next game, maybe 5 minutes in that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's just, if he's not going to start, there's really no place on the bench for him right now because D Rose and IQ are playing better. They have the chemistry. They have the familiarity. They're better right now than what Kemba can give you. On top of that, we got to get Grimes up in there. Grimes got to figure out. Grimes got to factor into the equation because we need his defensive intensity out there. So I think Grimes will get minutes up in there. So I understand why it's an all or nothing thing with Kemba. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, you said a lot of solid facts, and I think first one I'll touch on is just Kemba being situational. Sure, like he's, it was, as you pointed out, it's a high risk, not even a high, it's a low risk, high reward, right? $8 million, 2 years. He was bought out by OKC. You bring him in, see how that knee's doing. He could be the starter. You could see if he could reenact what he did the first year with the Boston Celtics. Couldn't. Okay. If you really want to, if the Knicks really wanted to, if they needed to, they can just, cut this guy and don't have to trade him, and it's fine. Not a lot of money on the books that you're wasting 2 seasons. You don't even need to stretch it like they did for Joakim Noah. It's literally so little that, this season you tried it out. Okay. Next season, over. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll still be on this team unless there's a good trade package out there. But I don't know a team that would want to trade for Kemba Walker unless he's thrown into a good deal with other players. Maybe if you're trying to move, we'll see how Evan Fournier continues to go. If you're trying to move Evan Fournier, although those two alone, I don't know who wants to take those two.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, but I still see him to be on this team. You want to have good quality depth. He's a good veteran. Maybe he can have that Udonis Haslem role on this team. Just someone that who has that experience, who's been in the league for a long time, can help coach these guys up while D Rose is on the court, and you have someone on the bench who can just be another extension of the coach saying, hey, did you see, this is what you're missing out there, or this is why they're running this play, or this is why you're making these type of moves, running these type of actions out there. This is what you got to be seeing. And I think that's where he's going to be effective and on this team. With Grimes, absolutely. I think what this team has been missing is a true 3-and-D guy. And this is not to say that Grimes is only going to be a 3-and-D player, but after letting Reggie Bullock walk, we see that we just need somebody who doesn't need the ball in their hand and who can just move without the ball, set screens, keep running off ball, move in transition, which he does better than Reggie Bullock, and plays just top tier defense. And to add to that, he's a really good rebounder.
Right.
Like coming out of college, we know we're getting a really good rebounder. So Grimes needs to get more minutes. And just when we saw him play in the Cavs game, when he first got meaningful minutes, and you see the impact that he makes, just locking guys up, ready to shoot, not afraid to shoot either. He's shooting with confidence. It may not be going in, but he is shooting with confidence. He's getting the ball and just letting it rip, not thinking twice about it. And that's a player that we need in these type of games where it's like, okay, he doesn't need his touches, but when he gets it, he's going to put it up and keep the defense honest. That way allows, if he's running with the second unit, someone like Derrick Rose and Emmanuel Quickley to do what they do, which is to get inside. Whether I know Emmanuel Quickley's not the best at attacking the paint, but he's getting a little bit better. You see him still utilizing the floater. He's now adding that a little bit of mid-range game, taking those mid-range jump shots. But Derrick Rose will get into the teeth of the defense, make guys collapse, find guys out on the perimeter, and have that ball swinging. And when you have someone like Grimes who's just waiting there to catch and shoot, that's the type of guy that you need who can just shoot when there's a lot of space given to him because they're looking at the other guards who are attacking the paint. So I like Grimes, especially what he did against Atlanta and how he was playing. Just hard-nosed defense, man. Those are the type of guys that we need, and he's
100%.
certainly earned those minutes.
100%. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP Alex Rotaro's Knicks weekly recap show, kicking things off with the lineup change. Burks in, Kemba out. Place your vote in the chat. I put a poll up in the chat. Let me know what you guys think, man. How do you guys feel about the move? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you indifferent about it? Leave a comment or vote in the poll. Shout out Boston Nick for the super chat. He says, so I know we had Burks as our starting point guard before, and a lot of fans soured on it. Why is it better this year? Chemistry, no Bullock. Well, I mean, it's better this year because it's better than what Kemba's going to give you. and that's all we got right now. You know what I mean? But make no mistake.
Yep.
There's gonna be games where I'm telling you, he is a patchwork emergency point guard. I was saying this from the off season. All right, you use him in an emergency. You break glass, emergency. You know what I'm saying? This is that situation. I would have probably looked at IQ. Yeah, I would have probably given IQ the shot. Tibbs wanted to keep that dynamic on the bench. You figure quickly he's gonna get more minutes anyway, and maybe he even closes games. Knowing Tibbs, he doesn't mind that. If Burks doesn't have it, you put quickly in, or you put the both of them in, right? You have that flexibility. Yeah. But make no mistake, there's going to be some ugly turnovers. There may be some untimely turnovers when the ball is in his hands. I'm just letting you know right now. Don't come at me. Don't at me on Twitter while the game is going on like, CP, your boy Burks, he's doing this. I'm trying to tell you right now, he's not a true point guard. We still need to solve the point guard problem. But for once now, again, it is what it is. Go ahead, Al.
No, once again, we're right back at square one, looking for another point guard. You think Kemba's going to give it to us?
Yeah.
Nope.
Right back square one. But look, it was a worthwhile experiment. All right, we're 11-9 right now. The sky's not falling completely. It was a worthwhile experiment. We gave him his flowers. He came home. I was all with it. Everybody was with it. They gave him a chance. And I just, some nights he showed you a little spark. Other nights, it was a complete dud. And I just feel like we need to go with something a little bit more reliable than what he gave us. And this was a telling stat, man. This was a stat of the week. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Stat of the week, Al. The on-off numbers with Kemba Walker. Knicks have the best defense in the league. This is from Fred Katz, and he probably pulled it from Cleaning the Glass. Knicks have the best defense in the league when Kemba's on the bench with a 99 defensive rating, and are dead last in the league when he's on the floor, 116.3. Talk about stark differences. They're 27th in offense with him playing and 9th in offense with him off the floor. And I think it just went back to what you said. This is a guy who had always been used to being ball dominant. It's part of the reason why Brad Stevens was so quick to trade him out of Boston to free things up for Tatum and Brown. Boston still doesn't have a true point. I mean, they did bring in Schroeder, and Schroeder has had his moments. But, they were quick to get rid of Kemba there because he didn't like the fit with Brown and Tatum. And here it is now. It's kind of similar with Kemba and Randall having zero chemistry right now. But, it's only 20 games. But what's your take?
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, the eye test alone just says that Kemba was not doing it when he was out there. I mean, we had the first game against the Boston Celtics. Everyone was just going wild and crazy. He's had his moments here and there when he was down in Charlotte. The thing, but it just keeps coming back to those numbers are not shocking because he needs the ball in his hands. And you just saw the stagnation with this team. It was Randall forcing a lot of shots. Fournier couldn't get into a rhythm because you don't know how it should all go. And then when you saw Kemba was at his best when he had the ball in his hand, he was able to break down the defense and then dish it to Randall or dish it to Fournier or dish it to RJ. But then it would go right back to Randall because Randall is supposed to be the engine of this offense yet again. So it just won't work. And if you want to add, I don't want to crap on Walker too much because I think it's just sad, man, because his knee is really just the arthritis in his knee. I think is really placating to like his poor play. I really don't want to like beat the guy while he's down because just being a guy who's known, who's an all-star in this league, you know, cardiac Kemba, legend at UConn, you know, had the clutch buckets in the NBA when he was on the Hornets. Like, it's just sad, man. But if you want to go back, I want to go back to Burks because, you know, the offense itself, when you see Burks even at the point guard, you know, looking at this season alone for 25 possessions with a lineup of Burks, Fournier, Barrett, Randall, and Robinson, they're a plus 12.6 differential. Like there's gonna have its moments where it looks good, and then it's gonna have its moments where it looks completely bad.
Right.
But I'm ready for it. Like, what's the other alternative? What are we going to do with Kemba out there? Just have him sit down in the corner if he's not going to guard anybody.
Yeah.
If he's not going to play make, and if you're not sure if he's going to be hitting threes, because that's the other thing, he's either airballing them or hitting the back of the iron. Guys don't need to honor that. Guys can just continue to sag off him, and then we're back to what we had last season, which is 5 versus 4. And teams are ready to take advantage of that. We saw even with Russell Westbrook going at Kemba Walker against the Lakers. We don't need that. We need true 5-on-5 basketball. And for what this team's identity is playing defense. And Burks is giving us the best defense right now, and Kemba's just not doing that.
Just not doing it, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We're gonna get to the phones in a second, but and you know I'm not. It's not to blame the entire ills of this team on Kemba. That's not what it's about.
Right.
Because Julius definitely bears the brunt of it. RJ shooting struggles on offense. 48. Everybody, the whole starting 5 can take the blame. The whole starting 5. And it's not even much to blame. They're 11-9. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But what we're trying to say is, how does this thing look going forward? Can this be sustained? Can this be improved? What can we improve on? And this is what we're looking to do. We're looking to improve on both ends of the floor. Right? And get some consistency and build on that. Get some chemistry there. And this is why Tibbs is making the move. Because things were just not flowing on either side of the ball. Partially because Kemba was in the lineup.
So my question for you then, what do you think, like how consistent do you think this offense is going to be with Burks? Because even Tibbs himself didn't fully like rule out the fact that Kemba could make a return. He's like, Kemba's out of the rotation for now, right? It's like, we can't be in a relationship for now. Like giving us that like long extended, like what's going to happen down the line. Do you think Burks is going to give us that consistent offense or just consistent play that we need from this first unit?
Burks has never been a consistent player. if he was a consistent player, he wouldn't have hopped around team by team by team off the bench here, and there. That's just Burks. You know what I'm saying? Burks and consistency don't add up. Like, he went hot. He got hot. 15 points again against the Hawks in the third quarter. He might have 15 points over the next 3 games. You know what I'm saying? That's just Burks for you. So a lot of it is still going to depend on Julius. Is still going to have to bear the brunt of being a playmaker, attacking the paint and kicking out to Burks, Fournier, RJ. You know, run some plays for RJ. Let RJ be more of a playmaker. Get it out to Burks, Julius, Fournier. Fournier's got to stay aggressive and be a playmaker as well. So everybody's still going to have to bear the brunt of helping the offense flow and moving the ball. But again, you know, as a singular player, Burks has a skill set that he can give you consistently, whether or not he's making his shots. That Kemba doesn't. So I think, like you said, it'll have its high moments. Things are gonna have its low moments as well, and then we'll just have to see where we're at. You know, does quickly get a look? Does Rose can get a look later on or in the playoffs? Or, as we said, maybe, who's closing is still going to be the most important anyway. So you could still have situations where Rose is your closing point guard and Burks is the 2 with RJ at the 3. You know, you're still going to be able to use these guys interchangeably. You're just not going to have Kemba on there, from my opinion, until, somebody gets hurt. Knock on wood, doesn't happen. But that's how I see it. But ultimately, you could still vary the lineup as when you close in the game, and get Rose in there as a more
maybe
reliable
even
ball handler. Go ahead.
No, and maybe for like everyone wanted Grimes, maybe we'll get to see some Deuce minutes too. Who knows? I know he
Yeah.
just got assigned down to Westchester, but get him into some backup because look, we have D Rose out right now. We got We have D Rose that's out, who's questionable for tomorrow. Kemba's out of the rotation. You got Burks and Quickly for tomorrow. It's just opening up opportunities for the young guys too, and the young guys are making the most of it. I have to say that.
True story, man. All right, let's get to the phones, man. Let me bring Ari in here first. Ari, what's going on, man? Talk to us, bro.
Hey, what up, guys? How you guys doing?
What's good, man? How you feeling?
What's
bro?
up, Ari?
Not much, man. Listen, at the end of the day, man, I like the move, but I don't necessarily like the move because I think it's going to help us get better. I like the move because it shows that Tom Thibodeau can make an adjustment and not be stubborn and at least experiment with things, right? The 20th game of the season, all right? If this doesn't work out, who cares? Change the rotation in another 20 games at game 40. Try IQ then. The whole point of the regular season is to find out what works for your team, catch a rhythm, and peak at the right time.
Yeah.
So even if this move doesn't work, it still shows that Tom Thibodeau has it within him to make adjustments and to adapt to the modern NBA in a certain standpoint, right? So I think it's a great move because it shows that he's malleable and that he's willing to try new things. It's always been a knock against him. I'm assuming that Quentin Grimes is going to take in that backup role, right?
He should.
And this is what I was saying on Twitter. Yeah, and this is what I was saying on Twitter today. You can't call yourself, Mr. I hold everyone accountable, defense first. What's your impact on winning? And then not having Quentin Grimes in the game. He's by far the best perimeter defender on the team. Not even a question. All right. He clearly has an impact on winning. He can shoot the ball. He's great at defense. I don't see why he wouldn't get minutes. And just the fact that Tibbs is just the fact that he's mixing it up is a win in my book. And if it doesn't work out, whatever. Obviously, Kemba Walker wasn't working out either. So I think it's a smart move. And even if it doesn't work out, at the worst case scenario, you're boosting Alex Burks' trade value come trade deadline if you're trying to make a move or something. Like you're boosting his trade value now that he can play the point guard. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be I still think it's going to be a good move. But at the end of the day, nothing is going to be good with this team if Julius Randle and Evan Fournier keep playing how they playing.
Facts.
You put $200 million into these two guys. You could put Rose at the point guard. You could put Quickly.
You guys better throw some fives.
You could put Quickly at the point guard.
Better not see no tomatoes in the
chat right now. You could put whoever at the point guard. If your $200 million men are putting up 7 points and 8 points on a combined 5 for 22 shooting, you're not winning anything in the NBA, man. So this is all irregular. It's irrelevant to me. So hopefully, Tibbs can just keep up with these adjustments, right? Keep on tinkering with things, seeing what works and what doesn't, and then come the deadline, then you make your decisions then. But for now, it's a low-risk move. Who cares if it works?
Let's go.
That's just my take, bro.
Let's go, man. Ari spitting facts. Word for word, verse for verse. What Soulja Boy say? Bar for bar?
Bar for bar.
Bar for bar. You better put some respect on that man's name in the chat tonight. No tomatoes.
That's a fact.
Ari went in. Straight facts.
Nothing but facts.
Yeah.
Ari hit everything on the head. That was a great call.
Ari, it's Monday night. You know what I mean? We'll check back with Ari on Friday night, if you know what I'm saying. And we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see what's going on upstairs. But Monday night, Ari, was definitely locked in. So salute to that man. Salute to that.
Ari's like a speedometer, man. It just gets progressively fast as the week goes on.
That's it. That's a fact. That is a fact, bro. All right, we're gonna go to Book. I see you, Book. We're gonna close with Book, and so we're gonna go to JJ from Brooklyn first, and then we're gonna go to Michael on the Discord. So Michael, get ready. JJ from Brooklyn, what's going on, bro?
Yo, CP Alex, what's good, my dude? How you guys doing, man?
Good, man.
Go on, JJ.
Feeling great, man. As a diehard Mets fan, getting Scherzer, I'm still on the high right now, man.
Ah, good for the Mets,
still hyped
man.
right now,
I don't
man.
know what I think
Oh.
Cashman is on vacation. I don't know what Cashman is doing right now, man. My Yankees are down bad. I see
they'll
the
get a
picture.
shortstop
I
eventually,
seen a
man.
picture
They'll
of
be all right,
CC on
man.
Instagram looking ripped, man. I'm looking to sign CC back to the Yankees right now
Right.
because we're dead. The Yankees are toast right now, man. Go ahead.
I'm waiting for that Yankees. We just re-signed Brett Gardner for another year.
Oh, did they? Are you
tweet.
serious?
No, I'm saying I'm waiting for that.
Oh,
tweet.
yeah.
Like just everyone else is making moves. Yankees like we got Brett Gardner back.
Yanks ain't making no noise. Go ahead, JJ, man.
Yeah, just thinking that the Grom Scherzer 1-2 punch, man. If they stay healthy,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, a couple of points on the Knicks. Very cool, Ari. Even though I'm surprised you didn't bang on him when he was talking about trading your boy Burks, but no, Ari's the man.
You know, him and Jay from Florida talk about trading Burks. We ain't trading Burks, man.
Come on, Ari. No, Ari's the man, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the move had to be done with Kemba, man. Like, it's unfortunate, New York guy, how excited he was to be a Knick, but it was just hurting us. I kind of would have rather have it be quickly, because I'm a little nervous, Burks, against these really fast point guards, you know what I'm saying? Like the really, really quick ones. Like Quickly has a little more foot speed, even though Burks has more size. So we could have some tough matchups, and obviously he's not a natural point guard. And the thing with Grimes, I love Grimes. His defense is elite. I love that he's not hesitant at all when he gets the ball. He's just he's not afraid to shoot. For a rookie, sometimes they're nervous to let it fly. He just catches it and lets it go. And the thing I love about Sims, his hops are insane.
Yeah.
His head it's like it's gonna hit the top of the top of the hoop. It's crazy. And the one thing about Sims that he's got to get better at, that I noticed last game, when he gets the ball, like he's got to go up with that right away. There were like three plays where he didn't go up right away, and then the defense got to him, and he didn't get the easy basket.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I noticed about his game. But everything else, man, the way he could set a screen, I hope he could teach Mitch some of that, just how tough he is. He's physical down there. I just hope these kids – I don't think Sims is going to get the minutes once Mitch and Noel are both healthy. I don't think he's going to get those minutes, too many minutes like that again. But the thing with Grimes, I think Grimes is definitely going to play. I think he's definitely going to play with Kemba out of the rotation. And the one thing, I just hope Tibbs sticks with these young kids and doesn't, take them out of the game when they make one mistake. Because if you remember, there was a play, Grimes, I think it was Gallinari. He kind of posted him up a little bit, and then but he didn't even defend it badly. He forced him to like a tough fadeaway, but Tibbs was going off on him. I was like, it wasn't even that bad a defense. I was like, chill, I just hope he doesn't go crazy. They're going to make mistakes, They're seeing a championship team, so just play the young kids, and, if they make a mistake, they'll learn from it, and they'll get better from it, man.
Right.
But that's pretty much it. You guys have a great night, man.
Solid,
Thanks.
man. You too, bro. Yeah, look, Sims will get it together, man. We saw some moments in the Hawks game. Same with Summer League. He gets the ball. He's kind of unsure of himself, but he'll get the hang of it, man, and get with it. But for right now, you don't. His offense isn't really that important right now. Right now, catch the lobs, play some defense, set the good screens, get on the boards. You know what I mean? Don't blow your assignments. And everything will be straight. He'll be all right. The one or two times where, he's in between a pass and a shot or something like that, I'm not really too concerned with that. Sims will be all right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that either. I agree with the CP. And he was never, an offensive guy in Texas, although he did go off in the playoffs. But what Tibbs wants from his centers is just rim protection and good defense. So he has to learn that first if he's going to get minutes. We see that out of Noel. We see that on Mitch when these guys are healthy. That's what Tibbs wants. So as long as Jericho can get that and learn the defense, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I agree with JJ. Like, gotta let these guys play through. And for the most part, like, Tibbs is letting the guys play right now. Like, we're seeing Grimes get out there because he's like, I can't hold this guy off. And everyone has kept saying that Tibbs is a guy that doesn't play kids. But last season he was playing Obi. He was playing Quickly. Quickly got more than Obi because he was playing better than Obi. Now we're seeing Quickly get more minutes. Obi, it's still tough because you have Randall, who is the $100 million guy in front of him, and will get those minutes, and will have the politics to give him the leeway to work himself out. But You're seeing Grimes now get that opportunity. That's what I said. Maybe if McBride can show something, he's another one. But look, Sims is getting his opportunities out there because our centers are injured. But once again, for Sims, like, he's on a two-way contract. I don't know what their plan is. You would think they want to keep him on that two-way until they really need to. But that just opens up another question on if Sims becomes better, is one of these other two guys expendable between Mitch and Jericho?
I don't see it right now.
I mean, Noel.
Yeah, I don't
now.
see it right now. I think they'll go slow with Sims. You know what I mean? I think they'll go slow with Sims and rock with Mitch, Noel, Taj. Even if once playoff time comes, Sims he's certainly showing you something, but I don't think they'll be in any rush to bump him up ahead of any of these guys. But stranger things have happened. We'll see how Tibbs handles that. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We got 1,000 people in the chat. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. This is Knicks Weekly, presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise here. You're hearing from Alex Rotaro, Stratocast on the other side. As I said, this is presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and a promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Also, remember that these shows are also available in podcast format. So if you're joining us here live, we definitely appreciate it. But if you have to go or you want to, come back and catch it later, you can always catch it on all major podcast platforms. So we are everywhere indeed. Also, check out KnicksFanTV.com for our latest, as Alex said, his latest write-up on the Burks move and Kemba being out of the rotation. Definitely check out some of Alex's work there on KnicksFanTV.com. If you guys are new in the chat, type in hashtag new and we will shout you guys out. Definitely want to shout out everybody that's in here, all the mods as well. All right, let's get to Michael on the Discord. Michael on the Discord. Michael, what's going on, man? Go ahead and unmute your mic. I know Michael got a lot to say tonight. Michael, what's good? Michael going once? I see his mic going on. Michael, hang on 1 second. Might have to reset the Discord. Michael, hang tight, because I see your microphone icon moving, but I don't hear you. All right, so let me restart the Discord, and then we should be able to get Michael back in there. So, Michael, just hang tight. While we do that, let me go to Fat Boy on the phones. Fat Boy, what's going on?
My God, CP. What's good, bro? It's the first one in on this bug. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, man, good. You sound kind of far away. Just make sure you're not on a speakerphone or anything.
No. I'm not on the speakerphone. Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. I can hear you well now.
All right, perfect. I'm about to say, because I was about to call T-Mobile and start blasting, but oh, man. Good review this week. I ain't even gonna lie. Overall, Tibbs is speaking the truth. Analytically, he just had to break down for him. I was actually chopping it up with E while I was on hold, saying the same thing. Camaraderie really revolves around dependability and availability. At the end of the day, whenever we got healthy, we need a set 5 in stone. I don't know about you, but I just do this toss up far as the lineup in the air. If it rings a bell, and it might be far as what your forte might be. Now, everybody wants to stick with Alex Burks at the one. I can understand that and already see that solidified. Now we got to actually scroll down the rest of the lineup and actually see who's been available and most dependable out of those positions to really be nominated technically for that spot position in my eyes. Who really put in the most work in their position cohesively for the team, not as an individual player, to put up the proper stats to actually get us wins. I'm going to go as far as off guard with quickly at the 2. He's one of our off-ball shooters. He's mainly gunning from the 3. So Burke is going to look for him on the wing. Plus, he's going to give you that standard size at defense. Me, I would have to put RJ because anybody that has to run knows that he's best in transition.
And that's a fact,
also
bro.
Need wing.
Appreciate the call because your line was kind of choppy, but I think, and we're going to talk about Quickly in a second, but I think Quickly is going to be due for a minutes bump. Definitely going to be due for a minutes bump, Al. I think he deserves it. As a matter of fact, as we segue to our player of the week, it is Emmanuel Quickly. Let's go. 12 points per game this week, 3 dimes, 24 minutes off the bench. He's about 38% from three. So shout out to Quick, man. I think Quickly's going to be due for a minute's bump out because, you know, on both ends, you're just seeing a more mature player right now. Even though it's early in the season, you're just seeing a different Quickly. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like things are really slowing down for him. Offensively, number one, his shot is coming back. His primary strength. His shot has definitely been on point. But he's playmaking. You saw a very poised, Quickly operating out of the pick and roll, especially this week. And when he had to be with no Rose in there. And defensively, he's been really getting after it, bro. Really getting after it on the defensive end. So shout out to Quickly. I thought Quickly had a good week for us this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. You know, his numbers weren't that great against Atlanta, but when you watch how he was just running the team without D Rose, you see, once again, what you said, that poise, right? And that's what you want out of your point guard. You want that poise. You want that ability to command the offense, to look at the court and make those decisions and get your teammates involved. And he was doing just that. He was truly a spark plug coming off the bench, and how he got everyone activated. That's what you want out of your point guard. And it's good to know that when Derrick Rose is missing time, that we have Emmanuel Quickly who can step into that role. And that's why we go back to Summer League. And we saw Tom Thibodeau was there. And after games, he was talking to Emmanuel Quickly and probably going over, hey, this is what I want you to look for. This is what you should be doing on the court. This, that, and the third, because he wants Quickly to be that guy. And when you listen to Tom Thibodeau talk about Quickly, he just has so much appreciation for the kid because he comes in every single day ready to work. He's a gym rat. You'd remember that he said that him and Obi were two guys that were just side by side in the gym this offseason trying to get that work in. And you see it paying dividends. You see how he's on defense, just being tenacious, hounding people down, fighting around screens, trying to stick with his man. That's stuff that you see that comes in the offseason. It's great to see translating to the court. And this is just year 2. So we know that his development, it's not linear. He's going to have his ups and his downs. And you see that with his shooting, even though it seems to be finding it once again. And he's going to have it more so when he's off ball than he is on ball. I think he's still trying to figure that out. He's still trying to figure that out, like how to be the point guard and say, when is it my shot and getting these guys involved? Because it's a delicate balance. And it's going to take time for him to get that. And usually takes point guards takes 4 to 5 years to really understand that type of balance and to even add to his game, because he's trying to get the mid-range in. He still likes to go to the floater and not really do a traditional jump shot. Layup package isn't fully there yet, but you see him making the efforts to try to get there and finish at the cup. But overall, this past week been phenomenal. I like what I'm seeing out of Emmanuel Quickly.
Quick's been solid, man. Laker game came through, especially in the second half. Gave some big shots, some the energy, you know, in the Laker game. Suns game, went at CP3, even in a blowout. Picked up CP3 full court. Gave him everything he had, everything he can handle. And then the Hawks game, 7 dimes, 9.7 dimes in the Hawks game. Went at Trey, went at Lou Williams, especially in crunch time. And, you know, Quickly's giving the coach everything that he's looking for right now. I expect Quickly to really benefit from this change. And, again, you could see him closing, but definitely going to get some heavy doses of Quickly coming off of the bench. As Tibbs says, he's tightening up the rotation. So, shout out to Quick, this week's player of the week. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I want to shout out on Team #new Marco Gonzalez. Marco, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Blank Face Introvert, Team #new. Shout out to Blank Face Introvert, Al. Who else we got in here? Latifi Henry. What's going on, Latifi Henry? Team #new. Welcome to the show. Make sure everybody's hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, share these videos. Alex F in the chat. Yo, a lot of people been hitting me up about John Wall. What is everybody talking about with John Wall, man? Lay off the drugs. John Wall.
Yo, I'm happy you said it, because the next day I was about to bring that up. Please stop with the John Wall.
What are we talking
trades.
about with John Wall, people? No. First and foremost, if you think Houston buying him out, $40 million a year, how much money does he have left? There is no way.
I think it's 40. I think he's got. Doesn't he have like another 2 years? I think he has another 2 years.
Then that's 80 because he's making like close to like 45 million.
Yeah. No thanks.
No, thank you. No, thank you. And then there was a report a couple of days ago that, because he's been sitting out for Houston right now. Then there was a couple of report like they're working out a way for him to come back and be around the team. It's a mess. That's the last thing we need right now is a locker room. Okay, yes, he's part of the whole Calipari, Kentucky clique. All right, so maybe there's some synergy there. You figure he's there with his brothers. Forget that, man. Forget that. I'm good with Burks. If Burks ain't working out, I'm going with IQ. And that's it. I'm not John Wall. Forget about it, man. Forget about it.
Yeah, he's a free agent in 2023.
Yeah. So
No,
there's no
what are we
way
doing?
they're buying him out of there. No way.
Well, I don't understand the fascination. Just because Kemba didn't work out doesn't mean we need to solve the point guard issue by going out and getting a more expensive point guard.
Yeah.
Let's
bring in another guy made of glass. A great idea.
Who's ready to play spades when he's getting interviewed.
Yeah.
But
nah, man.
I don't get it. Like the thing about Kemba was that low risk, high reward. This is high risk.
Yeah. No reward.
Ultra. And we're about to be off of like Joakim Noah's like contract.
Yeah.
Why even bring on another contract?
John Wall.
That you have to
crazy,
you have to match it. Like you have to match this contract.
Crazy.
You got to move a lot of pieces because you're not trading Julius Randle.
No, I'm not trading anything.
So
I'm good.
So who like I just want to know this thought process though. Like what everyone says like let's just trade for John Wall, but you have to match the salary.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money you got to match. That it's not happening.
It's not happening. That's not even a thought in my mind, man. Let me get to the Discord, close. Man. I know Michael's not with it. Michael, what's good on the Discord, man? Go ahead and unmute your mic, bro. Michael, tell her, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
CP, I'm sorry, man, but all these old heads saying that got me going crazy right now, bro.
Michael be going in on the old heads, man. Tell those old fogies, Michael, man. Yeah.
So stubborn, like. Anyway, I think Burks is perfect. If he doesn't work, you have quickly rolls. Like, you have a lot of things that we can go on. Mm-hmm. And, like, we are 20 games in. Like, I don't know what people thinking it's, like, 50 or 40. Like, and another thing is, like, Randall, he's not playing good, but you have to think. Last year, there was no Kemba. There was no floor general other than Julius Randle, and he carried us to the playoffs with Elfrid Payton. Mm-hmm. You got to think about that. I mean, yeah, this year he has more pressure on him, and it's way different. But
yeah,
I like Burks is a better off-ball mover. You're having RJ, and another thing about Burks is that defensive rating creates more transitions for RJ to shine and Fournier to get a wide open three off a transition.
Yeah,
because we didn't have no transition points in our starting lineup. All of our fast break points came from the bench.
That's right. That's right.
That's another thing that people not saying.
Preach.
And I mean, and like the future is great. Like, even if we're not gonna make the championship like this year. Like we all know that we have to just look to the future. And I mean, Deuce McBride is bodying people in the G League.
Yeah.
Like,
talk to him, Michael.
I know you saw that dunk.
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah. We're about to show it as we sign out.
I mean, like, it's just crazy. I think Fournier, I mean, we overpaid for him, but for what he's doing, I can't blame him as much as, Randall is the main person, but Burks, it frees up a lot of plays to run, and the offense is also freeing up too. Even though Randall with his first game with Burks didn't, score good, he had a +2. Basically, since like the first 6 games, all the other games with Randall, with Kemba in the starting lineup, he had a minus. But with Burks, with no Kemba, he had a +2. And he didn't shoot good at all. And most of those shots they weren't bad, but when the shots weren't working, he was going to the paint. He dunked. He played good defense. And that's what you see. Like, he builds that connection and trust with Burks and RJ rather than Kemba and then Fournier, which Kemba and Fournier know each other more than Randall. So they're going to do their own game. Yeah. So it's also that. There's a lot of things that helps Burks
Let's go.
and Kemba. And I think that I mean, maybe trade like not like a big trade, like a pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we do anything. We should just wait, have Kemba there for emergency.
Okay.
I think we're looking good.
Let's
There's
do it.
nothing to worry about now until 10, maybe 15 more games, and you can say something.
Let's throw some fives
But
in the
now,
chat
these
for
things I'm
Michael,
seeing on
man.
Facebook, fans I'm seeing on Facebook are crazy, bro.
Let's go. Michael on the Discord going in on all you old people, man. You got to relax. I like Michael, man. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Michael is great, man. He knows his stuff. He's coming in ready to
Michael
go,
brings the
guns
fire,
a-blazing.
man.
Gives you
You
the
know?
gives you the Stephen A. Stay
Yeah.
off the weed reference. Man, he's ready to go.
He's
I like
ready.
it.
He's ready, man. Some of you callers got to step your game up, man. Because Michael's bringing the heat every night. So shout out to Michael, man. Shout out to Michael. Oh, let me get to Sam, and then we will let me get to Sam on the Discord. Sam, get ready. And then I think that's Book. Edgar, just check that 347 number. I think that's Book. We'll close out with Book. Knicks 3-1 last week. Win over the Lakers. Lost to the Suns and a win over the Hawks. Those were the games I expected. Those were the games I predicted. Those outcomes, Al. I thought we were gonna beat the Lakers. I think the Lakers are terrible this year, and especially with no LeBron. I thought that was a game that we could have won. I was there that night. Sources told KnicksFanTV the Laker team was very much hungover from their time in New York, and you could tell they had no energy. They weren't together. They were pretty much dead in the water. And then second half they turned up. Brody turned up. They found their spark there, but quickly Burks, Obi closed the door on them. Suns game I really didn't expect to win. And yeah, it didn't turn out that way. And then the Hawks game, always expect to beat the Hawks, and that was the game of the week, no doubt about it, man. So,
But you're burying the lead, man. Not only was Brody the one that turned up,
Yeah.
CP turned up,
yeah,
being courtside when
yeah.
his boy Burks was going at it.
Yo,
We see you, man. We see you
that's a
standing
fact,
up in the air for
man.
your man Burks.
Yeah, you saw me when Burks was going in. You know what I mean? They caught CP on the camera. Burks High was representing right there, man, right there. And I'm sitting right there where the Knicks are finishing in the fourth quarter. So I'm right there with the closing lineup. You know what I'm saying? Right there with the closing lineup. As my guy AB's getting buckets, OB's getting buckets. I'm in there. I'm sitting next to Anna Wintour from Vogue magazine. You know what I'm saying? So if you see
There you
CP
go.
pop up at the Met Gala, just hit that thumbs up button for you boys. I won't even be a part of the theme. I'm just going there with a jersey and my KnicksFanTV hat on. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, yo, Anna told me I could come through like this. Everybody relax. I'm just be here with the food. I'm at the bar. You know what I'm saying? I don't need photos.
what I'm talking about.
I don't need that. I'm just be at the bar, post it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe me and Hove might talk. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year. You know? We'll see what happens next year.
But the question was, were you tripping behind that Lakers bench, though?
Nah, you know what? Security's tight, man. Like it was literally me, and then the security guard's like right here, and it's one. The security he's like halfway looking on the court, but looking at everybody else. So I was chirping at Brody a little bit, and then the security was like gave me that look. I was like, all right, let me chill out, let me pump the brakes a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was definitely chirping at Brody for a little bit, and then security gave me that fall back look. I was like, all right, let me just chill out. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah. I couldn't really just get activated like that. So, still a good time, man. Still a good time. All right. Oh, and I see the closer, Jay Boogie's on the line. All right, so we got to go rapid fire because I'm under a tight time frame right now. So, as I said, let me get to Sam on the Discord, and then we're gonna go to Book and close with Jay Boogie. Sam on the Discord. What's good, Sam?
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Good. How you doing, bro?
I heard about the news, Kemba getting benched. It's kind of a bittersweet moment for us New York fans. We want the homeboy to succeed, but sometimes it just don't work. So I'm just gonna run through quickly one of like the important stats that I feel like are gonna be a big change to this offense right now. Kemba is third right now in drives per game on our team. First being Derrick Rose, second being RJ Barrett. There was a lot of complaints about Julius Randle staying out on the three-point line. I feel like that is mostly fed because Kemba was the third leading drives per game on our squad. You can't clog up the paint. And last season, we saw Julius Randle stick a lot on the block towards the baseline. Kemba's drives would take away that position for Julius Randle, and it would kind of clog up the paint for him. So removing Kemba from the point guard position, putting Burks in, Burks is, I think, 7th on the drives per game, puts him more out on the 3, opens up the space for Julius Randle to play like he did last season.
Right.
You know, last season, Julius Randle had a huge, amazing season for the New York Knicks. And I think this is a positive. Now, again, going back to what the Twitter post by Kat said, you know, the 99 defensive rating. We talk about having defense as something that we can hang our hat on, and I feel like going back to that is important.
Yeah,
that
for sure.
That jump in height from 6 foot to 6'6", huge, allowing for switch and stuff like that. I think we're in a good position right now for our offense to take a leap and our defense to take an even bigger leap.
All right. Appreciate it, Sam. Talk to you tomorrow, man. Battle of the Boroughs, Knicks versus Nets.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that W, man. Appreciate the call, bro. Sam preaching facts right now, man. Sam definitely
absolutely.
Facts right now. Absolutely, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out CeeLo MIA, just got in. He said, damn, I missed the whole thing. Mr. Billy Valdez, what's good? Well, I mean, yeah, you missed it. You could always rewind and catch it on catch it on the podcast, man. So you might have missed it live, but you never really miss it, man. Shout out to the replay gang as well, man, because we will run the replay of this show in a couple hours as well. So shout out to the replay gang, wherever you guys are at. All right, let's go. Book from Queens. Book, what's going on?
CP, what's up? This might be the first time in NBA history we had back-to-back victories without playing a game.
Yeah.
Because this was definitely a dub for us today. And before I get started, I hate to say this because I scolded everybody for kissing up to you with the Alec Burks thing. They was coming on here talking about how great he was, getting them CP points. But I got to praise this community and kiss up a little bit. We have the highest IQ community out there. The calls have been fire. Everybody's points have been spot on. And let's exercise that IQ by hitting that like button because we got less than 400 likes.
Let's go.
And over 1,100 people.
Let's get up
pick
there.
that up.
Let's go, Book. Appreciate it.
And not to be that guy, but shout out to Manscaped. Remember, everybody, one for the basement, one for the mezzanine. Don't get it confused like that one caller. Yeah. So let's get right into it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
No. Let them know. If you need to let them know, let them know.
Yeah.
That's
a fact. One for the basement, one for the mezzanine, man. You don't need a mix. No mixes, man. That's it, bro. No cross-contamination.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So for all of the reasons stated, this was a great move. It's addition by subtraction in a lot of ways, and we all, I think, are hard to break for Kemba because we're all New Yorkers first.
Right.
He's one of ours. We don't want to see him go out like this. But the one thing about Tibbs tells the truth. And he said a while ago, he has evolved. He knew he couldn't be the same coach. And that means these same analytical numbers that we talking about, he's been looking at every single day for the past 25 games. And the proof is in the pudding. So putting Burks in the starting lineup, I do think it's a good move. CP, you brought up the inconsistency, which is a bit of a concern. But as we're playing Brooklyn tomorrow, I think the other concern that I have is our ability to apply pressure and our ability to break pressure with having slower guards in the lineup. That's something I want to keep an eye on, something I'm a little bit concerned about. I think we're still going to get better anyway. But when we play particularly against the Miami Heat, I'm real curious to see how this looks against a team like that applies pressure. Even the Milwaukee Bucks, who can have that gear if they want to, we're kind of a hard matchup for them, it looks like, over the past couple of years. Curious to see how that works out with Burks. I think it's an overall great move looking forward. Last thing I'll say about this is I really hope that Burks makes it his responsibility to get Fournier going, because I think with his defense elevating the lineup, with his spacing and his mid-range threat, he's a triple threat in terms of three-level scorer. Three-pointer, his size gives him the mid-range that Kemba lost. Kemba used his athleticism to open up that mid-range, and he don't have that anymore. He can't do those snatchbacks because his knee is popping.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when you have to respect the mid-range, you can't collapse to the basket this opens up some of those cutting lanes that RJ likes and gives Julius time to run in, gives Mitch that time to run in for offensive rebounds and lobs. So hopefully we can get that going. But it's overall a great look for us. Shout out to all of the great callers tonight, and thanks for having me as usual.
Salute, Book. Great points. Great points by Book there. Yeah, I'm going to be interested in that too, Al. Like I said, not being a natural point guard, how does he respond, when Miami's blitzing those pick and rolls, and put some serious pressure there. Everybody's going to have to step up. We're going to have to execute. How do we play against the zone? That's going to be another adjustment we're going to have to make. How do we play against the zone with the new look offense?
Yeah, I agree. And the caller made a lot of great points. I think and he brought up the triple level threat of Alec Burks that Kemba wasn't giving us. And I think the other thing that adds on to that is what I mentioned earlier is the isolation scoring, right? The fact that he could take one-on-one to the hole, that just opens up a lot more for this offense that Kemba wasn't even doing. So if you have to focus on someone who can actually break down a defense by himself, that creates opportunities for everybody else. And Burks can make those, those swing passes. So having to guard someone that you don't know where they're going to pull up from or what they want to do, and you have to make sure that you actually hone in on this guy. You can't. It's not who would be a good. I guess I don't even know who would be a good example on this team that really can't take anyone. I guess because Kemba couldn't do it efficiently on a night in, night out basis. But if you just have to just stay on the perimeter, right? Like when we watched Payton last season, he can get into the paint. But other than that, you didn't really have to honor his 3-point shot. And I think the same could be said in reverse for Kemba. He wasn't going to attack the paint that well, even though he did drive. So all you had to do was just worry about him shooting the three. And then you would have the help in the paint because if he even tries, more likely than not, he's not going to finish.
Yeah.
So it was kind of inverted this season. Alec Burks, he's not the greatest finisher, but he's not the worst either.
Yeah.
And you still have to honor every single shot that he takes because if he's hot, he's just going to keep flying.
That's facts.
So you have to honor that. So to add it to the caller, which was a great call, I think that isolation scoring as well will add just another dimension to this team and comes back to saying he doesn't have to be on ball. He can just be tucked away on the wing. He can still shoot, catch and shoot.
True indeed, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Battle of New York, Act 1 tomorrow. Knicks going to Brooklyn, going to the Barclays Center. I think we're going to get a dub, Al. We going up against the Nets. Then we have Chicago on Thursday, and then Denver on Sunday. I'm going 3-0 in the week. I'm speaking bold. Give me a prediction. I'm going 3-0 in the week. We're taking Act 1, revenge against the Bulls at home, and I think when Jokic and those boys get here, I think we pull one out. Although I don't know the last time we even beat Denver, home or away, but that might be a little. I might have jumped out the window a little bit, but I'm going 3-0 in the week.
I mean, you're not too far off with Denver. Denver hasn't necessarily been that great this season.
Yeah.
They're they don't have MPJ, who's having back surgery. They don't have Jamal Murray.
Shout out to MPJ's agent. Put that man in the Hall of Fame. MPJ's agent put that man in the Hall of Fame, man.
Next to Kelly Oubre's agent, who got him all that airtime and a lot of news in the New York media, and even had an interview on SNY. Look at that, 2 agents.
Yeah,
need those guys.
Shout out to MPJ's agent, man. Go ahead.
But no, I don't think the Nuggets is too far off beat. I do think we get back at the Bulls. I'm a little iffy on the Nets game. I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Durant is having an MVP season. I'm gonna keep it a little real on this one. If he shows up, that's gonna be a tough one, man. We got to be on our A game.
All 3 will be tough, man. Keep it real. All 3 is gonna be tough. I just like again, I'm taking our second unit over all 3, man. I'm taking our second unit over all 3. And as long the starters just need to keep it close. You know what I'm saying? Keep it. If we can't get a good lead, just keep it close because I'm taking quickly, Obi, and when my man Rose gets back, it's gonna be problems again. I'm telling you. Sprinkling a little bit of Grimes. I just like what our second unit is gonna be able to do, man. You know, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes, man. Anything can happen. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Leave me your predictions for the week. What are your record predictions for the week? All right, we got 5 minutes left. I wanted to get Lord Scientist in here for a real quick joint and then close with J Boogie. I got 5 minutes left. Fellas, be brief. Lord Scientist, what's good?
Yo, salute. Alex, salute. CP.
Salute, bro.
Let's get them thumbs up.
Salute.
Let's get this rapid fire.
Let's go.
Okay. Listen, Alex, the point you just made about Burke is an excellent point. 1 through 3, I don't care if he's point guard, shooting guard, or small forward. He gonna take whoever it is one-on-one and do them dirty. So that's the plus with having him in the starting lineup. Boom. Put some respect on R.J. Barrett's name. Broadway Barrett, out of Yard Monday. Hear me? Listen, he did excellent when you saw him running with the second unit. I think that's where his comfort zone can really, really be at. Running with the young boys that's his age, Quick, Obi, and even my boy Sims. Sims really impressed me in that game, and I'm out. Lord
Scientist, let's go, man. Check back in tomorrow, man. Knicks versus Nets, man. We chop it up, bro. Appreciate you. All right, let's get the close in here. J Boogie, what's good?
Salute. 3 capital S's. Hey, yo, Mike, man, don't be calling me the old man. I'm just playing with you. I don't want no problems, no issues with you, man. Everybody stay off the weed. You heard what he said. Stay off it. You know, be focused better. Hey, listen, man. 30, man. I'm riding with you, CP. 30. 3-0 this week. 30. Bernard King. 30. Julius Randle going to be on his up and up tomorrow night. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, Atlanta was the game that we needed to turn around and get there. Atlanta was the team that we was prepping for all season. Atlanta is the team that we made we signed our free agents for. We need a different perimeter type players. Atlanta is the reason where we going to make our season turnaround right here. But we're not really off target. We're under target because, you know what I'm saying, if you remember last year, we still was at a losing record, a losing pace as of last year. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we still have a winning record. So be easy a little bit. And the one thing about Burks, that's my man. If you listen to the squad, I tell you, we all know who brought the city back. Tell D Rose, Noel Tyler's running back. What Burks at? He inking in that new contract, some new money, and I'm pushing that Maybach. It's Burks' turn, man. Listen to the squad. I told y'all that. It's Burks' turn. The only thing about Burks, I need to know 2 issues. One, I need to know that medical issue with Kimball. Is he injured? He's hurt. If he's injured and they put Burks in, that's a good move, because that's the only move because Rose is hurt. But if he ain't injured and Tom decided, you know what I'm saying, to put him in there, that's Tom taking over the team. That's Tom letting you know, yo, I'm trying to play win right now. I'm not waiting on Peyton situation like last year. I'm making my adjustments and setting it off right here, right now. So I like what's going on with the team right now, you know what I'm saying? I looked to knock New Jersey's head off. They New Jersey. I don't know why y'all be calling them, you know what I'm saying, anything part of New York. That's New Jersey. Send them back over there where they belong. I know it's going to be lit. I know it's going to be on fire, you know what I'm saying? Like the chat is tonight, it's going to be on fire tomorrow night. But I look for us to handle our business and do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Atlanta, for turning our season around. Let's go. 3 capital S. Salute. Everybody continue staying healthy and safe. And before I go, shout out to my man CP. That's my, you know what I'm saying, my GM. And shout out to my man Lex, the torture rack. Luca, he in the building. And shout out to CK2K. And shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the Wonder Woman, Ashley Moss, wherever she at. And shout out to my man EG, and he handling that board game. That's what time it is. This the dynamic squad it is right here all the way around the board. Salute. 3 capital S's. I'm out.
And he's out of there. The closer, J Boogie, leaves us on a high note, going into Brooklyn and snatching victory. Burks in, Kemba out. Yeah, like the callers say, man. You know, it's a sentimental thing. Not something you want to rejoice about. You know what I mean? Even with the struggles, because I still, like I said, I still like Kemba. I still thought, you know, he had a couple of bright spots, but overall, just not what we were looking for. You know, we tested it out. It's just not there right now. Who knows? Stranger things can happen. You know, maybe the prodigal son makes a return and does something crazy for us, you know, so don't count him out. But great show, Al, as usual. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me read some of the super chats that are coming before we wrap. Shout out to Bandana Dan, says, in Tibbs we trust. Michael Parker sends a super chat, says, I'll still take MBJ over a completely healthy and uninjured Kevin Knox. Michael Parker, relentless. Ronnie Harold, $10 super chat, says, I believe in our coach. King Matthews, $5 super chat, says, tough choice for Tibbs, but he made it the right choice. Hopeful Kemba gets into the groove, but right now I'm not upset about it. Hashtag in Tibbs we trust. And Boston Knicks, salute. Thanks for the super chat, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Remember, we right back at it. Knicks versus Nets, battle of the boroughs. Been having a little bit of technical issues. You've been seeing the highlights been kind of choppy. This thing's been kind of dropping frames. I'm still trying to work it out. Might be something to do with the camera and the system, resources, the camera taking up resources. Working on a new system, man. Went into Apple and doing the damn thing. So just waiting on that to come in. So that'll all get fixed eventually. So that's why you're not showing as much highlights as in the past, because for some reason it's just coming in a little bit too choppy right now. So obviously we'll get that worked out. All right. One more thing before I wrap, man, because while all the point guard stuff was going on, the deuce was loose up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, Al.
Oh, yeah?
The deuce was loose,
because
man.
of his 1 of 7
that's not even
performance from
video.
beyond the arc.
It's
Oh! Miles McBride!
I actually put the
Oh
IG
my
video,
goodness!
which I didn't want to do, but you guys get
That
the point.
number
Deuce
influenced
McBride with the steal
because of his 1 of 7
and the
performance from beyond
poster.
the arc. Oh! Miles McBride!
The deuce was loose.
Oh my goodness!
Westchester
Guys, look at this
and the
steal!
Maine Celtics. Shout out to Deuce McBride, man. I want to play the original file, but I got to dig it up, so I don't really have time. You guys can check it on my Instagram. Go to KnicksFanTV Instagram to check the full video with the audio and everything. I thought that was a file. I put up the wrong file, but you get the point. The deuce is loose.